Oh, whoa, it's me. There's like a whole spectrum of sounds. I gotta unplug this fridge. We're ready for the chorus. Not trying to sound too hoarse. I haven't talked to anybody in like 5 days. Kinda in the daze. And I put the computer on the charger like 2 days ago. Just read, hoping to lay low. Had the house for $50 a month. It hurt my heart. Now I'm paying for a studio. It's supposed to be my start. Thought it was smart. Yeah, I haven't even sang. Only spent maybe 2 days writing. The thing that I'm fighting is just the immensity. Before I left my spot, had a whole bunch written, and during the tensity, there was an update that deleted it, and instead of the immensity of woe was me, I left it to fate and proceed. I started to rewrite it, couldn't repeat it, but my hotel felt like it ignited, and I found it completely almost starting to write itself. I was getting work and compromised on as much time I find I could spare on my health, and took some days off to finish it off before the election felt, but probably jacked off the majority, maybe made a rhyme. Don't worry, didn't really worry me. Went back to work, had some spoiler alerts, already made public some parts I've self-selected. In needy time, shit people needed to know, I happen to have collected. Since that preacher put it in my mind that if God gives you the cue, don't waste it. And I find if it was given to you, sometimes rhyme, especially when you feel it's true. But it's still up to you to remember to put on the noise canceling headphones. You can pretend to not hear the noise buzzing at your temples. It's instrumental. You take care, like getting calcium or vitamin C.
Get out!
You know what they call it. You know why they call it that? Apparently, because at sea, people would get scurvy. One day, some guy bought oranges or lemons to put in the grog, and no one caught on. Before that, it's like, dog, it's not the sea that's making people sick, it's the lack of vitamin C. And sick, it's about as close to a chorus that there's gonna get. And on that count of 3, what cured smallpox? 1, 2, it's chicken pox. But apparently some G named Edward J back in 1798 made the first vaccine, so I relate. All the space I'm free to create something more up to date. Really trying to get a roster bounce to this ounce, and I don't even count. made the first vaccine, and so all relates.
BeatStars.com.
The specifics to date in his day, I'm told 60% per se. No, I did not say. People, 60% per se of people got smallpox, and 1 out of 5 would die. And it came in waves. Didn't really understand how it was made. The tops just tasted
BeatStars.com.
You stupid elephant. I got a notion, TNT. Now. Remember my rank. I'm gonna have you busted.
Came in waves. They didn't really understand how it was made. They say I found a rash on one May. It doesn't even make sense. Hence, they found it in some writing in 400 CE in China, of all places. Didn't even know what it was to be. What the fuck is a CE? BC and after C. The Julian calendar for you and me. A couple cultures still be using the moon. Since AI, everything's confused. So Ed J found the milkmaids. The milk the cows got cowpox. Astounding lay. Word got around. Cowpox wasn't nearly as bad. And he found the best way to get down was just expose people to the cows that had the disease. He'd harvest the puss. He was taught that thus is true with the chickens too. Found the smallpox no longer affects you after you had one of the more mild two. So I thought chickenpox was the only pox still around. Looked it up online and I found back in the day music. Back in England during Jay's time, people didn't want to be vaxxed. Took a while for it to even be passed.
Here
but
you
it
go,
was
sir.
universally
A king-size,
acknowledged that
ultra crabby, supreme
Mr.
with
J
lower
saved a
double
lot of
matter
lives
prime.
back in the day.
On a
There were at
stick.
least 5 people who had said it publicly
Pardon me?
before he got the words. In fact, back for it to even be passed, but it was universally acknowledged that
Look at them eat.
Mr. J saved a lot of lives. In fact, back in the day, there were at least 5 people who had said it publicly before he got the word out. And what's more, Napoleon released 2 British prisoners of war. In fact, just because the man asked. Maybe because once they got the cowpox, the soldiers were immune, and they could use the smallpox disease to consume colonies that they chose to, like the native peoples in the U.S. Though again, in 1957, they seemed stressed to eradicate it.
I was thinking we could watch the stars and moon colors. I just let it see the love in your peculiar.
But it's said in the National Library of Medicine, so I confided to you. They stopped giving shots for it around 1972. Though 4 million cases of chickenpox happened every year in my day, they say in 1995 they started giving everyone in modern day America a chickenpox vaccine. Now it seems like only 15,000 people get it a year. Is that true? Can that be true? And they put something in it. Did they put something in it to pussify people too? Or is it something in the water compared to the generation before us? Ones after, like daughters, I don't mean to be rude. I feel someone ought to say they could have put something in the food. There's even many European nations that conclude reportedly kicked Monsanto the fuck out too. Doesn't matter the patents you're stating are yours. I'm talking about corn. The shit was here way before your company. I don't care if you're Bayer. Get the fuck out of my country. The United States too. Genetically modify some shit to die. And when you spray it with insecticide, feed it to us too. I have no qualms because they're in on depopulation. True. It's medical companies hoping to profit off your diseases. We can make 10 times as much on cancer if we feed these people poison food. Ooh. The point I was trying to make is our politicians aren't working in our interests. And I'm trying to state it in the simplest form. Does it sound like a stretch? When it's somebody foreign? Just look at Mexico, for instance. I bet you'd never guess they'd be 13 in the world in GDP. Seems to me the money doesn't trickle down, you see. And around that time, an idea came out. It was like 2000. Seems to me the money doesn't trickle down. The idea around that time came around 2000 was that it's America's interest to promote billionaires who will distribute the wealth through ingenuity instead of a strong middle class unity. You gotta get the fridge again.
In a historic district in Pasadena, California, bounded by a Domino's Pizza on one corner and a 7-Eleven on the other, you'll find heaven. Bungalow heaven.
So around 2000 was in America's interest to promote billionaires. Distribute the wealth through ingenuity instead of a strong middle class unity. And that was supposed to trickle down. I'm not saying America doesn't make a lot of stuff, and company owners have found to employ hundreds and even thousands of people. It's just something is wrong with when a country's in the top 20 and it doesn't seep to the people living there who are desperate for options. In the U.S., people grow up in coal mining towns.
Nobody controlled the brand, so all the
say cotton fields, and I found in some ways cities are worse. All the industries in cahoots, like Mormons
Portland
first.
to Topeka, packaged bungalows.
You gotta pay to play and get a chunk of anything. People who invested in hedge funds got a piece of the military contracts and stood to gain. Using our tax dollars ineffective without making it too obvious. Everything.
Style,
Smart,
all of which had a
play.
similar floor plan and often
Invested oil the first day. George W. got elected. So I was talking about immensity of the document that I selected. I started rewriting it over 40 chapters long, and I'm fighting to edit it too. So in the meanwhile, I hope this song moves things along. It's nice to be able to refine a smaller text.
craftsman-like style,
Finish this
but without
task.
Gustav Stickley or the
Give me
philosophy of the arts and
confidence
crafts
that I
movement.
too finish the other text the last.
1909, the New York Times was publishing full-blown trend pieces about the call of the bungalow. It was the latest dream of spring poet and
So around
real estate man.
2000,